Hello? So, I just took a shower, so my hair is still wet, which means you're going to see me hatless today. Cue blur. This is indecent. I need to keep a hat on because it is hatless, which means my hair is exposed. For shame, I need to cover my hair, but I just took a shower, so you're gonna have to deal with it. Hey Grains, so today we're going to be unboxing my 1 million subscriber plaque. So for those of you new to this channel, this is my second channel, which is Jackie, Nerdy Jackie. Enunciation is hard today. But on my main channel, Nerdy Crafter, we reached 1 million subscribers, and I've been holding off opening this because I really want to open it with you, because there is no 1 million subscribers without you, Grains. So I wanted to celebrate this with you. So we're going to unbox it. I am super excited. I can't wait. It feels like such a long time since my first plaque. So for those of you who don't know, on YouTube, when you reach certain milestones, YouTube sends you rewards. The first reward is at 100,000 subscribers, where you get like a small silver frame, which is right here, as you can see it. And then the next milestone after that is 1 million subscribers, where they send you a gold plaque. So I have my gold plaque. I didn't think the day would arrive. There were so many ups and downs on YouTube, and 2018 I really thought I was going to quit YouTube, but then it ended up being probably one of the best years I had in terms of just making different projects and getting into my element and really doing more craft challenges than craft tutorials. So for those of you asking if I'm ever going to do craft tutorials again, the answer is no. I'm not going to do craft tutorials, at least not in this foreseeable future. But I will still be doing craft videos. They're going to be more challenges or thrift store makeovers or modifying something or unmakeovering something, but they're not going to be tutorials per se. You're still going to learn things, but that's not going to be the aim of the video. It's gonna be to have fun, pretty much, so that's what we're doing. And also to honor 1 million subscribers, I realized there's still quite a bit I haven't shared, so I'm going to answer maybe 10 of the most asked questions in the community tab when I told you I wanted to do a Q&A. So eventually I would like to do a draw my life, but I know many of you will be like, it would be an absolute waste if I didn't do clay my life, but there's no way I'm doing a claymation. Worst case, I could do probably a clay chibi and have interchangeable faces, but I honestly would prefer a draw my life, personally. But we'll see, we'll see. So here it is. And yes, I'm in my pajamas and there's quite a bit of cat fur because I was cuddling with Ramses. So let's just call it a shirt full of love. Okay, are you guys ready? Oh, by the way, hang on. For those of you wondering, this week is my 7th anniversary on YouTube. So it's pretty much taken me a year on my main channel to get 1 million subscribers. So, which interestingly enough is the same amount of time it took me to get my black belt at karate. So it seems like 7 is the number for me to achieve things. All right, so here's the first bit. And oh my gosh, I am super excited. Ooh, there's a letter. Okay, this is a really cool letter. It says, you're bigger than Vancouver, you're bigger than Venice, you're even bigger than Las Vegas. 1 million subscribers. So I'm going to take my time and read this, but holy moly, it is huge. I'm watching you. Oh, and by the way, the next milestone is 10 million subscribers, so I'm not thinking about 10 million, I just want to focus on creating good stuff and just getting the engagement on those videos. 10 million subscribers, if we get there, we get there, but it's not something that I'm anticipating. Okay, with that, I want to take this thing out. Oh my god. There's more stuff here? So I think that one here, is that a silica packet? Don't worry, I'm not gonna eat it. So we have the gold one. I think the diamond one is at 10 million. And then after that, I think is 50 million and then 100 million. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Oh my god. Oh, the back is soft. So here it is. It says, presented to Nerdy Crafter for passing 1 million subscribers. YouTube with the gold play button. Ooh, it is so reflective. You can see my background. Now you can see a preview of my project. Feel free to zoom in and take a guess on what this project is. Oh my gosh. Honestly, this is such an amazing reward. I know YouTube doesn't have to do this, but to kind of recognize us and give us an award anyways for reaching different kinds of milestones, I think that's pretty cool. So I really wanted to say thank you so much for all of you who are on my main channel, who are on the second channel, who are just there commenting or just even lurking and not commenting, just being part of the community. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really never thought this day would come. I really honestly never thought so, because I really was going to quit in 2018 because my views were in 2017. And I mean, from an average of getting 30,000 views to an average of getting like under 10,000 views. So the algorithm is not to blame. Look at me, the algorithm's not to blame. We sometimes have to look at our own content objectively and say like, yeah, my stuff's not interesting anymore. That's me, I learned. Oh, and by the way, as I was saying, this is like cloth. So it's definitely not going to hurt your walls, and you can hang it up with 2 nails. But it's definitely a lot lighter than I expected. So the front feels like a bit of a metallic plastic. I don't even know how to explain it. And the back is obviously a wood. Interesting. I know they're far from each other, but this is the size comparison. Pretty big difference. It's pretty much as big as the frame right underneath it. And now, my little grains, time for butt pillow. All right, so my burb really wanted to come because he was screeching on the other side. Yeah, I know. So if you see little fluffs of white, a little bit of everywhere, that's bird dust. Because white burbs, they release dust. I can see that you want to hit me on the head, but he's like, there's no hat. What do I do? Do you want to climb? Want to say hi? You're so cute. All right, that's enough. All right, so I am taking the questions from the community tab. Ooh, that is bright. And I said all questions are welcome, whether they're silly, serious, or just anything in general. And you grains never surprise me, because the top most voted question is by the random days. And they ask, my biggest question is, do you feed Sika? I promise, I feed her. Every time she comes here, I'm sure I have breakfast, snacks, lunch, snacks, supper, snacks. Lots and lots of snacks. Right, Burb? You love to eat? Because Sika and Burb are the same people. Hi. I feel like I'll need to do another Q&A because there are so many good questions here. By the way, if I didn't answer your question, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. So feel free to ask as many or as few as you want. They could be funny, serious, silly, anything. Next question is by Armin Bidilici or Badalisi. And the question asks, do you sometimes find it difficult to stay positive for the camera when you record a video, whether you are in pain or feel under the weather? Sending lots of love. So for those of you who don't know, I do have Hashimoto's disease and PCOS. Both are autoimmune diseases, and I do get quite a bit of inflammation. And that's why over the years, I've gotten a little bit of a chubby bunny face and body, and that's because of thyroid issues. So there are genuinely days where I can't walk because of the pain, and I do have back pains, and I just get arthritic pains. I'm like, I'm a grandma now. I got pains everywhere. I know it's gonna rain today. So yeah, there are days that are pretty bad, but what I do in these days is I look after myself, because that is really important. Luckily, I'm not too much of a person who procrastinates, so I try to keep projects ahead of time. So maybe a couple of days just in case, because I get inflammation out of nowhere. And for those of you asking, yes, I am gluten-free and I don't really take that much lactose. I don't really eat sweets. I've tried keto diet. I've tried juicing diet. Trust me, I've tried. At this point, my doctor is just trying to figure out what's going on and how to control it. So we're still working on that. And by the way, luckily this year, well, late last year, I found a really good doctor who really does listen. So there are days where it's really hard, I just don't feel it, so I just don't put myself in front of the camera, because I want to be there to make you smile, to make you happy. And if I'm not feeling that, how can I give that back? You know what I mean? So definitely, if you're not feeling well, take care of yourself. Right, Burp? He loves it when I move my hand. He's crazy. Next, Rad JK. Would you ever make your own craft kit brand? And if so, what would you make it so it's a 10 on 10 dorks, unlike any other crap kit? Salty crafter identity crisis level. The answer is yes. I'm not gonna say too much, but yes. So this year, keep an eye out. I've been working on a project for the last few months. It's not going to be up for at least another few months again, but I can't tell you what it is. But my idea is, in order to make it 10 on 10, first of all, a learning experience. Secondly, something that's fun, customizable, and that you can use it after the kit is done. I find like educational value and reusability and playability are very important in my books. Right, Burb? And sealable bags, ideally. Hopefully. I'm working on getting sealable bags in there. I didn't think it would be that hard, but I'm working on it, right? But I think even doing my best, I don't know if 10 on 10 is possible. I'm going to definitely be reviewing my own kit. Will I give it a 10 on 10? I don't know yet. Guess we'll find out when I try it. Hi, you okay? Come here. Kai Scott, I'd love to hear more about your upbringing and what life was like in Egypt. How you learn so many languages. So, bird butt, bird. Thank you. So the upbringing in Egypt are 3 very specific years. Time over there was so different because I was pretty young when we were there, but at the same time I was old enough to understand that I left my life here in Canada to live back over there. Honestly, this needs a whole Draw My Life because it's quite the journey. But if I can say something, is that a lot of my mannerisms are quite still Egyptian-like, which means I over-offer. Is that a thing? I think it's a thing. Because Arabs don't know when to stop. Trust me. We're like, oh, you want, here, have some more food. We're gonna feed you. And then if you say, nah, it's okay, we're gonna think you're shy, not that you're full. So I tend to bring that part of me in different situations where I might try to over-help. So it might come across as, what's the word? Desperate? I don't know what the word is. It's not that it's desperate, it just seems over-friendly. So the problem with that is people tend to take advantage of me. That's the problem. Is I tend to be nice to a point where people think they can just have a free ride. I probably set myself up for that though. So I'm still working on that. Right, Burb? He knows it. You ride me? Wait, that sounded wrong. But honestly, my upbringing in Egypt was fun. We had so much family around. My grandmothers were around, so many uncles and aunts and cousins, and you were never alone. Like, you always were with someone in the family. Weekends were spent in huge groups. Birthdays were like dozens and dozens of people over. One of the things I do clearly remember is a lot of stray dogs and cats. So when I was a kid, I still wasn't used to the fact that there were stray animals in Egypt. So every time I went out, I would feel bad and bring an animal back home, right? Are you stray? Where are you going? And then one day, my brothers and I, we went out and we saw a guy selling chicks. Baby chicks. So we took our pocket money, which was back then about 25 cents, but in Egyptian money, and we each bought a chick. We brought chicks home. My mom looked at us and she knows. She was like, but the thing is, she couldn't blame us because she was exactly like that when she was a kid. She always brought stray pets back home. So we ended up with a house full of animals. At one point we had 2 dogs, a cat, a rabbit, 2 budgies, 7 chicks. Yeah, we brought more home. A monitor lizard, 2 frogs, a tortoise. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. No, you weren't there yet. I think that was it. We had quite a bit. I said you weren't born yet, okay? You weren't born yet. So life in Egypt really was fun. But things were cut short when, I don't want to get into that, but I'll keep it very brief. Things were cut short. We stayed there, but we had to come back to Canada because my mom got sick. And to answer the second part of the question is, how'd you learn so many languages? Well, Egyptian is because that's You done? Egyptian is because that's pretty much the language we were taught at home. French, we were educated our whole life in French because here in Quebec, you are absolutely forced to go to French school. If you're kids of immigrants, right? And then English, we pretty much learned it from TV. We were never formally educated in English up until grade 4. Japanese was self-taught. You know, I was just interested in the language. And Spanish, I took it up in university because I was genuinely interested in languages, so the more the merrier. You wanna go back? I'll take that as a yes. My hair's getting drier and I'm feeling weird without my hat. I'm gonna put my hat. There we go. I don't know why, I always feel better with my hat on. Do you have a piece of clothing that you absolutely love and feel way more confident with it on? That's me and beanies. That's it. I just feel more confident with beanies on. And now I have all that dust on me. Dang it, bird. Janeth Gonzalez, you say you're a pretty good cook. Why don't you make a series teaching how to cook Egyptian, Canadian, or French dishes you love? It would be pretty funny watching you and we can learn about your culture. I love that you Grains are so interested about Egyptian culture and cuisine. I would love to teach you how to make Egyptian food. The only issue is I don't have a proper recording area for food, but I might have to think into kind of getting like a movable island. That could work as teaching you Grains how to cook. And yes, I'm pretty good at cooking Egyptian food. Trust me, I have recipes from a long time ago. So I'll definitely think about different recipes that I can teach you that are pretty Egyptian. We have grape leaves, we have something called goulash, which is not goulash, it's like a pastry. We have a bechamel type lasagna and different kinds of stews. So I really don't mind teaching your Grains how to do it. Oh, we also have like lentil rice. A lot of Egyptian dishes can also be vegetarian. So you know what? I'll probably start doing that. Maybe not formally, but just for fun, I might vlog it. Jennifer Lane, how is your health doing? Is it hard being a bird owner? Do all the pets get along? When do we get to see another sculpture? So my health is still pretty blah, but I do take it one day at a time. That's really the only way we can for those of us who has autoimmune diseases. Wow, English #1. So for those of us who do have autoimmune diseases, it really is one day at a time. You try to find out what your triggers are, stay away from them, and also give yourself enough self-love. But again, I'm seeing a doctor who's listening, so hopefully this year we can do something about it. I say skeptically. Is it hard to be a bird owner? The answer is yes. They are toddlers forever. All they want to do is just play, have fun, and if you don't give them attention, they'll throw tantrums. They might bite you, and if they bite to blood. They require fresh food, so you have to cook for them. Lots of attention, huge spaces. Tiny cages are not a good idea. So the rule is, buy the biggest cage you can afford. And the screaming, holy moly, they can scream. You don't want to get a bird or a big parrot if you have a tiny apartment, because they can definitely wake up your neighbors, and you have to train them too. So being a bird owner is not just cute and fun. They can be quite a handful. The pets generally do get along, but Splinter and Angel don't get along. Angel wants to bite Splinter, Splinter wants to eat him. But Ramses and Angel do get along. They frequently just want to touch noses, which is really cute. And the next time you're going to be seeing a sculpture is hopefully next week Friday. You should be getting one. That's the one I'm working on that you saw through the reflection. Bubble Star asks, how is your dad doing? So for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, my dad got his liver transplant surgery at the end of October last year. Why did I chop my words? And he's really doing much better now. But the reason he got his liver transplant is because they noticed that his kidney was failing. He was sent to intensive care because they thought he was just gone because he was not responsive. They put him on dialysis. Then a few weeks later, he got his liver transplant. But now his kidney is permanently damaged. So guess what? He's back on the transplant list, but for kidneys this time. However, he's actually doing way better. He is more active, he's more aware, he's moving around, he's got enough spunk to argue with me, which takes a lot of energy. So yeah, he's doing much better now. Honestly, he was in such a dire situation before that seeing him as he is now, yeah, he's much better. I don't know why this is bothering me a lot. And then, may you say some sentences in Egyptian for us, like, grains, you are doing it wrong. So I think the word for grains of salt would be habit melh, I think. That seems like the right word to say. So I guess habit melh, which is a grain of salt, بتعملوها غلط. You're doing it wrong. So bit, so B-E-T, تعملوها. Oh, how do you even spell that? It's just gonna be written here. بتعملوها غلط. You're doing it wrong. I swear, if you Grains start using Egyptian for you're doing it wrong, you'll get a gold star. 3, on average, how much salt do you ingest? I think on average, I take a little more salt than the average person just because I feel like I'm missing minerals, so I just add a little bit more salt than usual, but not that much more. What's the temperature in Canada right now? So in Montreal, Quebec, which is where I live, the average temperature is about -24 Celsius, which is right here in Fahrenheit. Yes, it's cold, and we got a lot of snow, something like 17 inches in the last week and a half, quite a bit. Do you use the imperial or metric? I think I just answered that by telling you the Celsius, but yeah, we do use metric. Group photo of your pets, please. I can't give you a full group photo, but I can give you of Ramses and Splinter together, and then Angel and Ramses together. That's as good as it gets. Lots of salt, I mean love from Norway. Thank you. I'll answer 2 more questions. Eva Ondikova asks, I always wonder, are you more coffee or tea person? Or what type of drink do you enjoy most? Sending lots of loves and greetings, Eva from Slovakia. I want to visit Slovakia. There's so many countries that I want to visit. Norway being also one of them. Germany. I want to visit all the countries. So I'm kind of a balance between tea and coffee. It really depends on my mood, but coffee will not affect me. Look at me. I can drink coffee at 10 p.m. and still sleep, so it won't affect my sleeping patterns at all. If I'm having a dessert, I guess I'll have it with coffee, but if I just want to relax and have something warm, I'll take a tea. But it's all just for flavor, no other reason. I'm pretty basic when it comes to what kind of drink I enjoy. Water with squeezed lemon. Quite fancy, but I like to squeeze a little bit of lemon in my water for the day. I don't know why. Apparently it's good for your liver, so I'll take it. FNAF Gamer 101, how has Angel changed you? Angel changed me by making me a lot more patient and aware that someone has a lot more needs than me. He's quite needy and he's very good at testing people's patience because he can scream. So when other people are not used to it, they'll be like, whoa. So he's made me a lot more patient. Is Angel nice to Sika or is he just as mean as he is to her as to you? Angel is generally really nice to everyone. He used to hate women because I feel like the person who had him before me was probably a woman and abused him. So that's why the first time I got him, he really wanted to bite me. But now every time he meets a new person, he just wants to get loves and hugs and kisses all the time. So he's pretty nice. We're pretty lucky for that. Dana Risenfeld asks, how are you feeling on your break from teaching? What are your thoughts about your decision you've made? A fellow teacher here, best to you. So this is a really good question because I am at a point now where I'm really debating. How am I really feeling? Am I ready to go back? And the answer is, I still don't know. I'm still not feeling well. I do miss being in the classroom. I want to be in the classroom again, but I don't know that I can go full time again just because I don't feel like that would be a good decision for my health. However, I don't have a choice to work part-time as a teacher because at the school I'm working at, if we're not working full-time, we lose seniority, which means other people go ahead of us, which means eventually I will not just have work at all. So it ends up being the same thing as sacrificing not working. So part of me feels like I probably will go back to work full-time just to get tenureship. Once I get tenureship, then I will actively choose to only work part-time so that I don't lose my position. That's the only way I could think of going around it. But holy moly, do I miss being in the classroom so much. I miss being with students. I miss having that dynamic energy in the classroom and sharing information and learning from the students. It's one of those things that you don't realize how much you love, even though I know how much I love it, until you're away from it. So I genuinely miss teaching. So I'm probably going to have to tough it out, do both YouTube and teaching until I get tenureship and then work part-time. Krista C asks, a serious one, will you have kids? You seem like an uber great mom to your animals. You will nail being a mom. So the answer to that is a firm absolutely no. I know this might trigger some people, but I just don't have that maternal instinct to want to have kids. And probably a big reason for that is because when I was little, I pretty much raised Sika. I know this is gonna sound interesting because you probably want to draw my life or acclaim my life, but I changed her diapers. I took her to parent-teacher. I was a kid too, but I was doing all of that because we didn't have a choice. So I did all of the raising. Every time I wanted to go see my friends, I had to bring Sika with me. I was pushing the stroller. And people thought I was a really young mom. I mean, I was getting looks because they were like, what's going on? Why is this child raising a child? So essentially I feel like all my maternal instincts for wanting to raise a child were put into my sister and I just don't feel like I would want to. But I do look forward to being an aunt someday because I love kids. I used to teach elementary. I used to coach karate for children. So I love being around kids. I just don't want my own kids. I want them to belong to someone else so they can go back home after. So I think that's it for the Q&A. You Grains really do ask some pretty interesting questions. You really want to get to know me, and I feel like I do owe it to you because there's quite a journey to getting to where I'm at. It wasn't always a straight line. It wasn't always easy. It was ups and downs, lots of downs, but it's the coming back up that is pretty rewarding. Once you get back up, you're like, I've really come a long way, so I'll work on that. But I'm wondering if I should put it on my main channel or my vlog channel. We'll get there. If you want to watch more vlog videos, make sure you check them up here. Until then, I'll see you Grains in the next video.